top the lane with Dawn plus Mirana here, that frees up her to maybe go and, you know, fish for an arrow in the mid lane, and that could offset the balance a lot. So that's a possibility. Or just active rotations between the lanes. Use those portals, try and, you know, go from your safe lane to your off lane, gank, and then maybe smoke towards mid. There are many moves that they can make here. As we see smoke out by Infamous to drop down some vision over on the mid. So at least getting a deep ward.
Yeah, I mean, like, the one nice thing about this is that you do have these twin gates now where you can make these rotations without the cost of a TP, right? Because that's going to be another thing that, unfortunately, Infamous will have to keep in mind, is that the Nature's Prophet has a lot more maneuverability than what they have necessarily, unless they want to spend that gold on TPs, which I'm sure the supports do not.
Yeah, no, it's costly to make the moves, and it's also slow, right? That's where Nature's Prophet has the advantage and the ability to go towards that mid lane like we discussed. But yeah, the portals could be a key thing to utilize here when you have the Mirana plus Rasta. You might get some Shackle into arrow combinations. And Slark just standing on mid, kind of spotting that Infamous was standing on the other side with their Ember, but they didn't get any intel on where the wards were dropped.
The calm before the storm, hoping maybe they can catch someone out, but looks like
the battle
doesn't seem to be the case. Hiko, though, standing around here in this top ward spot, but nope. It'll just be a nice and even split for the start of game number 1.
Yeah, we also saw Naga, of course, checking for that mid vision, so they know that there's no dire mid ward that could see the Naga illusion since she was standing on the tower. But yeah, we're heading towards the lane. It's going to be the safe lane Undying to protect the Slark here. Nature's Prophet quite often run as the post 5 as well, but I think it's the smart choice to have him on the post 4 here.
All right, so with this bottom lane, how are they going to want to play this then with having Qhali in the bottom? And like, this is what we're talking about, right? It still just takes you a couple seconds to go and cut through. And again, that's a tango that was needed.
Yeah, I mean, he's getting handled right now. This Mirana has to skill leap immediately and down to 80 HP. Look at Furion's HP. He's full. He took no damage at all.
Oh, it's so stupid. Oh, I'm so angry about this. And like, look at this. Like, he's already got the Sprout back up again. She, okay, didn't manage to quite land that. Still
Salve
took a little
cancelled.
bit of damage, but
Yeah, he canceled a salve with his Sprout, so still really big. This Mirana in a tough spot now.
she's only got 1 leap charge left too, so she's got to be so careful, which means Minnie's going to be taking a lot of harassment.
Yeah, this unfavorable trade there is gonna really manifest itself by making Naga have a harder lane.
me if given half a chance.
I'm curious now. It just feels like Nuages has to play so much more carefully, and they do end up landing the Sprout over on Minnie, but don't get the clicks off, so not as bad as it could be.
Yeah, this lane
Top
is...
lane, Kotaro? And it's the Starbreaker. They want to finish him off, but don't quite have enough.
Yeah, still using those...
Ooh. There it is. That's we talked about this being a difficult lane, Waga.
Yeah, I mean, this is expected that he will lose mid, but dying first blood before minute 2 is really early. Leo style doing a good job. He got those early boots. I think that's what caught him off guard there. He didn't expect the Huskar to run him down as well as he did, but early boots in this lane, super good choice by Leo, and this lane is only going to get more difficult because anytime you trade with a hero mid, you usually want to go like, oh, but it's fine, you know, I traded down resources and then I come back and he's weaker. Well, that doesn't work against Huskar. Huskar wants to be low HP, and Huskar's mana pool is never an issue, so top lane, Tombstone.
Looks like they'll be able to finish off the Shadow Shaman.
Yeah, a little bit of a rotation there by Kira coming out early. Still has the TP to go back home as well with TP scroll.
I do see a rotation here from Qhali. Just gonna go take some of these little observers. Making his way over towards this mid lane. Mr. G needs to be careful. He's playing very far up.
Yeah.
They're pinging it out. This is not looking good. All right, they're already gonna rotate. And I think that's needed. But again, Nuages, he has no mana here. He doesn't have his courier.
And he already struggling to have like good impact on the bottom lane. Now getting forced to move around the map. Now you're playing Nature's Prophet's game. And Nature's Prophet happy to just start focusing top as well. He's going for the Rasta again.
Yeah, they're going for Shaman. Landing it here. A couple more clicks. Should be just enough. Good Starbreaker, but not going to be enough to save him. And Kotaro, sitting a little bit low, does have a solve that he'll be able to use and get right back up again.
I like the way AcatSuki are playing this. They realize that Tide is the type of hero that you can just leave against a Naga 1v1, get a lot of experience by being solo, and then utilize this mobility of Fury and just run around and cause mayhem. So Mirana now trying to keep up with this, but she has to look for an angle for Arrow, and that's not easy to do until nighttime comes around.
Well, like you said, they're going on a very death ball sort of strategy here for the side of... they're still listed as Infinity. They're not. It's AcatSuki. But, you know, this is just going to help propel them forwards, right? You've got yourself a Nature's Prophet who's just putting so much pressure on the lane so early. And then, of course, Devil, or Frank, as he is also known as. They do this all the time, South America. They always change the names. He's going to be able to get those levels online so quickly, and that's just going to keep putting so much more pressure on them. Yeah,
his intentions are already clear. He has 2 points in Kraken Shell, 2 points Anchor Smash. He's going to take no damage from Naga. He's going to be completely fine. Rushing that Meteor Hammer as we expect. I was just giggling a bit because Qhali actually killed both the water runes on minute 4. So that's kind of rare to see the same hero deny both the water runes, not even take any of them.
There's more important things going on right now for him, clearly.
Another life squad.
So bottom lane's just going to be Frank, just farming up. Same thing with Mini. I'm sure that we'll see like these rotations coming out from Qhali and Nuages for both of them, but
yeah.
Otherwise, I think it'll be mostly quiet. I think the pressure is going to be in these the top and the middle lane.
Mid lane taking a bit of damage here, but Leo style kind of too high HP to do a lot of damage. He needs to drop his HP lower for the Berserk's Blood there. I think top lane and mid lane, you're absolutely right, should be the more focused lanes here by both teams, as Nature's Prophet has that TP ready, and if you ever overplay going a little bit too far out of position, you might get jumped.
So we've talked about the fact that Mr. Gene's going to probably struggle in this mid lane against Huskar. Is it worth it for him to try to be a bit more active, try to rotate a little bit more? Oh, look at this Qhali coming back top, finds himself. He knows he's already used that hammer. They're going to try to put as much damage down as possible, dropping the Tombstone, dropping the Sprout even, so he cannot go forward.
Yeah, really nice Sprout there. It served 2 purposes as well, catching the Shadow Shaman as well as blocking off the Dawnbreaker. Another nice kill. No, I think you're right, but he needs level 6 before he can really make those moves on Ember, and he's just trying to get it in any way he can on mid lane right now.
Do you see that rotation for the 6-minute runes? Just trying to do whatever they can here. We do have the medallion that should be completed here for Qhali. Should be getting it shortly, which is going to mean he's going to hit even harder every time he goes for those Sprouts.
Yeah, Nature's Prophet already a very good hero at trading, and once he gets the Solar Crest later on, putting it onto Huskar is very nice. Nuages still?
Nuages has had enough with his nonsense. Like, look at this. Goes to the air. Doesn't quite manage to land. And
he might get him.
I'm curious if he's going to go underneath the tower here.
Oh, he doesn't.
I'm curious. Oh, I thought about his Step the Illusion.
Oh, no.
Trying to use it. Oh. I love this region.
Oh. I thought he might have had it if he went a little bit earlier there, but, you know, the Fairy Fire, he was calculating that leaping in could be dangerous. At least he gets the kill, you know, but he did die first.
He did. This gives him a chance to get their own Wisdom Rune, though, over here. Yeah, look at this. The Shackle. All right. Shaman managing to get himself that rune. Hika's going to help make him pay for it as part of trying to get the denial here with these trolls, but not going to be able to. So only 1 Wisdom Rune going over to the side of AcatSuki, and they end up losing the Undying on the other side of the map.
Yeah, and bottom tower, of course, having opened up now with that Meteor Hammer from this Tide Hunter now going on to the tier 2 tower. This is the problem. If you ignore Tide, he's gonna start taking buildings, and I don't know if anyone wants to go down and play against him.
I think it'd have to be a pretty concentrated effort to get him off of the towers. You'd have to send so many resources. It's probably better just to focus on another lane, right?
Yeah, most likely, but that does open up the tier 2 threatening here. I mean, the catapult is coming in. If nobody goes here, this tower will fall disgustingly early, I want to say.
I mean, that's 2 heroes that I feel have not had any pressure on them, right? Leah Styles, Huskar has not felt... That was a little bit funny there with the... jumps back for the remnants. Leah Styles really hasn't had much pressure. Neither has Frank on this Tide Hunter. And that's a bit worrisome for me, especially with this game, the idea of how they want to win. Because their win condition is, you know, get this momentum, like run over them before these other heroes really come online.
Yeah. See Jeans trying to make a move here, going around, but he was spotted by 2 sentries, so they're fully aware of his move towards the bottom lane here. Ember looking for his first rotation, but it's going to be tough to get a successful one.
I think you just have to be careful too, because you've got a Tide Hunter that has... yeah, he doesn't decide it's worth it.
He wanted the Furion. He didn't find him. Furion TP'd over to his own jungle after seeing the Ember rotation, so Ember is back towards mid, but that's time invested. Just making that little rotation there.
Is under attack. Bounty.
Yeah, this Slark is having the time of his life. His current gold looking very, very good right now. Although, if you take a look at the top 3, it's really the story of AcatSuki right now, right? Huskar sitting top of the net worth, followed shortly by Kotaro, and then Frank at 3rd position. So, game's going swimmingly for them. What do they need to do to disrupt this now? How do they gain a little bit of breathing room back?
Sorry, laughing a bit. Mirana manages to catch the Meteor Hammer of bottom, cancelling it from the Tide Hunter Ravage.
Ooh! Oh, what? Devil?
He was missing mana. He couldn't get it. He got his mana boost delivered just now as well, a little bit too late, but that's Ravage on cooldown. Mirana also did a lot of damage to Tide, who now steps up.
And Minnie's here. Minnie's ready. Follow up with the Dawnbreaker. He goes here. Wants to get the kill to Minnie. They gotta put a little bit more damage on this boy.
Oh boy.
Who gets the final hit.
That was so avoidable as well. Committing under tower, taking tons of damage from a tier 2 there. At least top lane is being pressured since a lot of heroes rotated down to bottom. But Tide Hunter, a big takedown there that they didn't expect to get for sure. Also, this build on Slark, I want to touch. Is this common? Have you seen this guy do this before? The Radiance Slark? Because
no, I haven't.
This is not standard procedure on Slark.
Yeah, I'm curious as to what the mindset is behind this.
I mean, it's a good way to deal with Naga. Maybe they're just saying, you know what, Huskar isn't good against illusions, Slark isn't that good against illusions. He wants to build up in a way that deals with them. Maelstrom doesn't feel great on Slark, so he goes Radiance. Yeah, I don't think it's a bad choice, actually. You gotta keep in mind as well, a lot of sources were buffed against illusions. Radiance was one of them. 150% damage versus illusions now, instead of the normal 100%. So perhaps this is a good way to do it. I don't actually find myself disagreeing with the choice.
Do you think there would have been something better, though, that he could have gone besides Radiance to try to deal with it, or...?
I don't think for dealing with Naga. I mean, usually you just go for the Diffu, the Echo Saber, you know, the Aghanim Scepter type of ganking build. But that would leave the Naga problem. And Undying is terrible against Naga as well as Nature's Prophet. So someone has to be good against Naga, and it can't just be the Tide damage reduction. So maybe this is the correct play. I think it's actually pretty nice.
And they say you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Kotaro's been around this scene forever now. I wonder if he's ever thought, like, wow, it's really coming down to this. I have to get a Radiance to deal with a Naga Siren on a Slark.
I don't know what I expected today, but Slark Radiance was not on the menu, I think. But, it was a secret item.
I feel like we need to make a South America bingo card for everybody in chat. They can play along with us, like, what was on your card today? Well... these all look ridiculous, but they've happened before, so they could happen again.
Yeah. Speaking of items, this Armlet plus Sanj Huskar on mid lane, chasing in.
Right into the arms of Leo Style and Prada. He's going to be able to get out, though, as they'll put a little damage on the tower.
Quick double jump there by Ember, getting to safety.
He is hunting. He sees Nuages. There's going to be a little bit of that leap forward. We'll just force away the Mirana. She doesn't want to have to deal with this, but this Tombstone's still up, and the final hit, down goes the middle tower.
That was a good move by Leo Style. Just forcing out those cooldowns on leap is really painful for Mirana to deal with. There's still 52 seconds per charge to restore. So using 2 of them there, that's over 100 seconds cooldown. You know, normally you think about ultimates cooldowns, like that's big, right?
I mean, especially when you consider what she's up against here, too. Like, it is a very necessary skill. So now she has to play more cautious, which is not fun.
Yeah, at least she does have that Quelling Blade to stay safe against the Nature's Prophet if he tries to go on her. But, yeah, we see maybe an early Roche attempt here as Huskar and Tide making their way over. Definitely clear intentions. And we even have the full Solar Crest, I think?
Yeah, I just noticed that.
He is not. He's otherwise engaged though right now on Nature's Prophet, role playing as a ward, so he cannot solo quest Roche at this moment.
Yeah, he's making his way over there. They do have to be careful though. Yeah, look at this. They're going.
Roche is
They figure something is up.
a bit too
Now
slow.
sitting pretty low. They're playing it a little safe right now. They don't have their Slark with them.
Slark is coming.
Frank does have.
He's going through a portal.
Frank does have the Ravage. They're in position though. They have a ward there. They'll know if he shows up. They start pinging.
They're,
Like, do we want this? Do we not want this?
they're trying to shield the Slark to come through. He's coming through now.
All right, jumps forward, finds himself. He immediately takes down the ward, pounces down. It looks like they're gonna just let them have the Roche, honestly. Oh, that arrow. That could have been close. Ravage gets used over here on Hika, followed up with the Meteor Hammer. Kotaro, he's hungry, he's on the hunt, he wants a Stonebreaker, and he's gonna find it. So he'll drop the Serpent Wards over onto the backside. Watch is now stuck in those trees. He doesn't have the leap charges. We talked about this. Kiri looks like he's gonna be able to get out now. Mr. Jeans and Minnie, they're here. They're in the Roche pit.
No.
This is not looking good though, because Roshan smacking away at Mr. Jeans. Oh my god, Roshan, you are supposed to be unbiased.
Oh, yeah, I mean, what can you do when the song comes out? Roche is like, okay, I guess there's only the two of you awake, so I'll start smashing you. And easy, quick farm on the wards there afterwards. Huskar getting the Aegis. The dream situation there for AcatSuki there. Getting everything that they wanted. The Radiant Slark coming in and actually being useful as well in that fight. Going on to the Dawnbreaker, making sure she couldn't come in.
God, this is just the funniest thing, though, looking at the Slark, who just has his Power Treads Radiance. Does have the Sage's Mask in the quarterstaff now, but...
I don't think that fight could have gone any worse. Everything was absolutely despair there on the side of Infamous. They tried to get some coordination, but they were see the Dawnbreaker in the replay, getting caught, tries to get an ulti in, but she dies before she can finish it. And meanwhile, this Huskar just going to town. And we're gonna see more of that now as well with that full Aegis in inventory, and he's going for an Aghanim's next. Not even opting to go for the Halberd, going for the more aggressive item choice. Or does he have it on Courier? I guess maybe his Courier got sniped with the evasion. Yeah.
Man, just looking at that last fight, just so unlucky there inside that Roche pit.
Trying to go on
Ran
Kiri.
into a corner. Well, looks like they're probably going to be able to go and punish him. No, they realize they don't have anything left here to
The
cancel it out.
Searing Chains missed, and he simply just sidestepped against the Dawnbreaker Q and realized, hey, I'm fine, I'll just TP out. No way he should live there. Gets away safely. Everything is just coming up AcatSuki right now.
And they're already just here in the base. They got themselves the Aegis on their Huskar. They've got the, don't have the Threat of Ravage, but they will have it up in about 11 seconds.
Yeah, they forced out the Glyph. That's a big move, right? Just going up, getting Glyph on cooldown. But now, thinking about going bottom. They don't want to delay this. Having the Huskar with Aegis, I think they want to crack that high ground.
Glyphs and TPs. They've got the Ravage back up, and honestly, Frank's so big, he could literally just walk into all of them, take a decent amount of damage, and not have to worry about it. Get into place, uses the mechanism, there it is, there's that Ravage connecting over onto multiples, as a follow-up, in comes the Dawnbreaker, trying to just stay alive a little bit longer, trying to use that ultimate, but not going to be able to survive, as now Mr. Jeans, to watch as they are forced back, this tower getting just sliced away. We'll see Mr. Jeans trying to use the Slight, trying to clear them out just a little bit, thanks to that Moonlight Shadow, but I just don't know if he's going to be able to do enough damage, and still, they're holding on to the Aegis.
Yeah, going on the Huskar with the Aegis there, when there's so much to turn around the fight there, the Undying coming in with the heals, the Tidehunter with the mech, and then, of course, that Ravage just completely sealing the deal, and that's going to be Leo Style comfortably standing on the enemy high ground here. And even Slark chasing after Naga as this is going on. Naga in trouble.
Yeah, Mini can't do much here. He doesn't have much for mana here for the Song of the Siren, so he's just gonna run away from Kotaro. It's the bottom lane. They've already finished off half the racks. They're looking to get themselves the other side. And what can they do on the side of Infamous right now?
They can't get out on the map because Slark is just on the hunt here, going on Ember as well.
Pokes away. All right, there it is, that Wrath of Nature cleaning up.
Honestly, I think at this point, when the Huskar already has the Aegis, when they're already grouped up with this Death Ball that we discussed, it's hard to do much. I think you needed to you know, somehow solve the Roshan fight there in a better way. Now, how do you deal with 1 minute 20 on this Aegis? I think mid-racks are just gonna fall.
I think you would be absolutely correct on this. Even go put this tombstone down. So Style's gonna walk right back in under the safety of this Meteor Hammer.
Watch out for the Aghanims on Huskar now. Anyone who steps close might get caught by that Sable.
Radiant's middle barracks has fallen.
I just don't know how they kill him. Twice, even.
Yeah, no, this...
Like, one time is gonna be hard enough.
They're just standing here watching. They realize...
Continue to just keep Frank alive on backhand. Leo Style finding this opening, immediately taking out the Shaman. Does not have to deal. Kotaro starts clicking away over here at Mr. Jeans. Hunt, he's got another flavor in mind. It's going to be the flavor Nuages. Finish him off, pounce away. Just go right back into that Shadow Dance as they finish up the mid-racks. They are losing so many buildings.
Yeah.
Here on the side of Infamous.
Such clean play as well. They're backing out now. Even Kira gonna get out safely from the enemy base, and they're moving as a death bottle should, all together towards that top tower. Tier 2 tower is on their minds. Mini is on the map and is farming. He's finishing an Orchid right now, so he has the full Orchid available on Naga, but does that silence really make a difference here? What are you gonna do? Try and silence the Tide to delay the Ravage maybe and ignore him in fight? But Ravage is back online.
Dire's bottom tower is
I mean, he's such a big, meaty boy. Like, it just takes so many of your resources to do anything here to this Tide, to do anything to the Huskar on top of, like, Huskar doesn't have an Aegis anymore. He just jumps in onto Eco immediately. They will use the Song of the Siren, try to get themselves into a good position, start clicking away over on the Tombstone. Moonlight Shadow also going to come into play, but it doesn't matter. There it is, a big Ravage coming out here from Frank, as looks like the Shadow Shaman. It will be the next one to go down. Hiko trying to fight his way through with the Starbreaker, but Mini, he's just been clicked away by Kotaro, by Leo Style. He is dead. They will buy back. They finish off the Dawnbreaker. Mr. Jean stuck in the trees. Another buyback coming out now from Hiko, but they call the GG. They've had enough. This is a fast game number one here for the side of AcatSuki.
Yeah, this was some tempo they came in with, and this is exactly what I feared looking at the draft here. I thought that this could play out in a very dangerous way for Infamous. Their draft had a lot of stuns for sure.